It was a quiet Friday morning in a small town. The sun rose slowly over the fields, painting the sky with gold and crimson. James, a hard-working man, stood by his small wooden window, staring out at the land he had labored on all week. His hands were rough, his body tired, and his heart heavy. 4 months, James had worked endlessly, long days at the factory, late evenings fixing things for neighbors, and sleepless nights worrying about bills. But on this morning, something felt different. His little daughter, Mary, only 6 years old, came running into the room. Her hair was messy, her laughter light as morning dew. She tugged at his sleeve and said, "Daddy, will you rest with me today? Just sit with me, not work, not rush, not fix. Just be with me." Her words pierced his heart. For the first time in a long while, James realized his daughter didn't just want what his hands could provide. She wanted his presence. That day, James remembered a verse his grandmother once whispered to him. So the people rested on the seventh day, Exodus 16 verse 30. Suddenly, it wasn't just about stopping work. It was about trusting that God would provide, that life was more than endless striving, and that rest was a holy gift. 1. God's command to rest. In Exodus 16, God gave manna to Israel, bread from heaven, enough for each day. But on the sixth day, he gave them double, so they could rest on the seventh. Imagine the Israelites waking up on that day, expecting hunger, but instead finding peace. God had already provided. Rest was not laziness, it was trust. It was faith that God was in control. Reflection question: how many of us are like James, working, striving, running, but afraid to pause? What if rest is the very place where God is waiting to meet us? 2. Resting as an act of trust. When the people rested, they weren't just stopping work. They were declaring, "God, you are my provider, not my effort, not my hustle, not my anxiety." Think of Mary's words to her father, "Just be with me." Isn't that what God whispers to us every weekend? "My child, come sit with me. Just be with me." Rest restores our body, but it also restores our soul. 3. The emotional parallel, our modern struggles. Today, rest is harder than ever. Phones buzzing, emails piling up, bills staring at us, responsibilities calling. We fear that if we pause, we will fall behind. But what if the secret to catching up is actually slowing down? What if the victory is in the silence, the blessing in the stillness? When the Israelites rested, they lacked nothing. When James finally sat with his daughter, he gained everything his heart was missing. Later that same evening, as James held Mary on his lap, she fell asleep peacefully in his arms. For the first time in years, James wept, not from exhaustion, but from relief. He understood, rest wasn't about losing time. Rest was about finding God again. And in that stillness, James whispered a prayer. "Lord, help me trust you enough to rest. What are you carrying that God wants you to lay down?" When was the last time you truly rested in His presence? Prayer of release. Lord, today I release my worries, my fears, and my burdens into your hands. I will not strive endlessly. I will trust you. Prayer for families. Just as James found healing in his daughter's request, pray for families to experience love, peace, and togetherness in their resting moments. Prayer of restoration. Ask God to heal the weary, to restore broken spirits, and to strengthen hearts through His presence. Closing declaration. Everyone repeats together. In God, I rest. In His presence, I am complete. I lack nothing. As James tucked Mary into bed that night, she whispered sleepily, "Daddy, today was the best day ever." And James realized, it wasn't the money he earned or the work he did that made it so. It was rest. It was presence. It was love. That, my friends, is the gift of God's Sabbath. When we rest in Him, we find more than we ever imagined. We don't lose time, we gain eternity in His presence. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment so you won't miss more devotionals like this. And also comment what verse encourages you today, and share your story below. Which Bible verse helps you in tough times?